MSC Cruise Lines, they got their sights set on being the largest cruise operator in the entire world. What did I tell you just a couple of weeks ago? This is coming, folks. You better get ready for MSC. Also in today's cruise news, we need to talk about the brand new Carnival Jubilee. We've just got an update from the shipyard, and I'm going to show you some progress photos of this brand new mega ship coming to Carnival Cruise Line. We're also talking Holland America. They've got some very unique itineraries for the space nerd. Yeah, that's right. If you've ever wanted to see a total eclipse from a ship, well, Holland America's got you covered. And Norwegian Cruise Line, yeah, one of their ships is right over my shoulder here. Unfortunately, they've canceled over a month of sailings on board one ship. Let's roll the intro. Hey, welcome to the Midships channel. I'm your Captain Corey, and thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. I'd like to welcome you aboard the Carnival Panorama. We are currently sitting in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. The sun is setting. This is the Norwegian Joy right over my shoulder here. I thought it'd be a nice little backdrop. I am sorry in advance for all the echoes that you're gonna hear. I'm literally standing on my balcony recording. That's what you gotta do. Since we're talking about Carnival Cruise Line, it's a perfect time to update you on their newest ship, the Carnival Jubilee. Take a look here. These are photos coming out from the Meyer-Werft shipyard in Germany. This is a construction update on the Jubilee, and this ship is expected to launch right around Christmas time of this year. It is still available to book. I just checked it out right before this episode. It's an expensive sailing. It's gonna start like at $3,000 almost. But if you want that Christmas cruise on the newest ship in the world, the Jubilee should be ready for you sometime in December. All right, I wanna set the scene for you. You've probably been to Nassau, Bahamas, but have you ever been to Nassau, Bahamas on the busiest day in recorded history at the port? Well, it's happened 3 times in the past month. Over 26,000 passengers and 6 cruise ships made calls in Nassau, Bahamas on the same day, 3 times in the last month. And some noteworthy ships just happened on January 8th, the biggest day ever for the cruise port. Wonder of the Seas, Freedom, Liberty of the Seas, Carnival Liberty, Carnival Sunrise, and the Norwegian Escape, all called to Nassau on the very same day, bringing in an influx of 26,393 cruise passengers, let alone the crew members on board these ships. Tell you what, I'd be staying on the ship that day in Nassau, Bahamas. And you know just what you could do if you're sitting there bored on a cruise ship in Nassau? Well, you could check out the Midships Amazon store. In there, you can find everything I take with me every single time I cruise. Check it out. There's a link in the description down below this video. Now, let's turn our focus to the Mediterranean Shipping Company, or more commonly known as MSC Cruise Line. A lot of you longtime viewers will know I've sailed a lot with MSC, and I think they're a very good line. I think they're the best deal in mainline cruising right now. Well, MSC seems to think they are going to take over cruising globally, and due to cruising, what they did with shipping. Roll the clock back a few years. They started with one old rusty boat, started a shipping company, and now they're the largest shipping company on the planet. Well, they're going to try to apply this same logic and this same effort to cruises. Just think about how many new builds MSC has pumped out, 10 in the last couple of years. They are building ships at a record pace. They have Ocean Key, which is continually growing their private island in the Bahamas. They are constantly evolving that island, adding new things, growing new horticulture? I guess that's the word. What do you call growing plants? I believe that's the right one. Correct me in the comments below. And MSC President Ruben Rodriguez did not mince words this week when he let slip that his plans, like I told you in previous episodes, his plans are to be the largest cruise operator in the entire world. Just think, they're already one of the largest in Europe, South America. They're all over the place right now, and they've got 5 ships here in the US operating from 3 ports, soon to be 4, it's only a matter of time until we see MSC bring some ships around to the West Coast. We're probably going to see Long Beach. We're probably going to see Seattle-based cruise ships for some Alaska tourism time. This is coming, and I bet it's going to be coming in the next 2 to 3 years. Yeah, go ahead and mark it down in your calendar and just correct me if I was wrong. Okay, let's turn our attention to Norwegian Cruise Line, specifically the Norwegian Joy. Unfortunately, Norwegian has announced that that ship needs to go into dry dock, an extensive dry dock, as a matter of fact. It's going to be out of service for a month and a half, starting January 6th of 2024. And this is going to cause cancellations for a handful of sailings, and specifically 2 of those sailings were to be Panama Canal full transit cruises. So unfortunately, those are now off the books. This happens from time to time. Cruise ships have to be maintained. Look at the conditions they're sailing in. Look at the thousands and thousands of people that set foot and touch all the surfaces on these vessels day in and day out. These cruise lines unfortunately have to pull ships every once in a while, and it looks like the Norwegian Joy is going in early 2024 for a pretty big refurbishment. Now, I promised I'd give some cruise news for those of you who like to look up to the sky and maybe take in an eclipse, maybe take in some natural phenomenon. Well, Holland America sees you, and so do I, and they are going to be offering a special solar eclipse sailing, 2 of them, as a matter of fact, coming in 2024. They're going to be departing from the West Coast, and you are going to be able to see a full, total eclipse on board. Now, the ships in question, the Rotterdam class Zandam, she's set to depart San Diego on March 30th, 2024 on a 14-night round trip sailing. It's going to go to a lot of cool places, and you are going to be able to see that solar eclipse. The eclipse takes place on April 8th, and the ship will be in Mazatlan in Mexico. And that's not the only ship in the fleet offering this special once-in-a-lifetime experience, because the Pinnacle class Koningsdam is also going to be sailing from San Diego on April 5th on a 22-night voyage. Count them up, 22 nights at sea. That sounds like the perfect way to see an eclipse. Let me know if you'd be interested in something like this down in the comments below. And while you're down there, I'd encourage you to check out the Facebook link that'll take you to my group cruise information. If you didn't already know, I'm hosting a group cruise on Carnival's brand new ship, the Celebration, June 11th of this year from Miami, Florida. We're calling it the Midships Miami Nights. It's a 6-night cruise. It's heading down to Mahogany Bay, Costa Maya, and Cozumel. Like I said, there's more information linked down below. If you made it this far into today's episode, I would love if you would subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any cool, interesting, and very important cruise news coming out in the cruise industry. As always, make sure you leave a like on this video on your way out the door. And until next time, we'll see ya on the Midships. Thank you so much for putting up with all of this echo, the strange lighting, and my glasses. I got another eye thing going on. Really got to get these contacts figured out. Like I said, we're in Puerto Vallarta today. I've got a few days left here on board the Carnival Panorama before it's time for a big flight back to Orlando for 4 or 5 days before it's time for a big flight to New Orleans for the Vloggers Cruise. Can't wait to meet all the other YouTubers, the influencers, and of course, those of you out there in YouTube that make it all possible. The fans cannot wait to meet and greet with all of you out there on the Norwegian Breakaway. Hey, that's going to do it for today's episode. We will see you tomorrow. La 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 la.